What's up, guys? It's your girl Serpentine 10, and I want to give you something to think about. What if Jin and Kazuya actually teamed up to go against Reina and Heihachi? It's not confirmed, but is it a scenario that could possibly happen? Well, we're going to talk about that today and why that actually works for the future of Tekken's storyline in Tekken 8. So, Kazuya, what has he actually been up to? Not much. I think that this scenario of this being the end-all be-all between these two teams really does work. And I'm going to give you some scenarios why. One, in the story mode, Kazuya just looks like he just has nothing to do. And this is in my opinion, but he really doesn't have a definitive reason why he hates Jin other than it's another rival devil that's in his bloodline. So he doesn't really have to be a bad guy and take over the world. Now, he's just doing it because, well, yeah, he's evil, but that's when we think of Reina because she is the new baddie. And it looks like with Heihachi not being dead and her obviously finding her devil gene, this will be the case. So this brings up a lot of questions of what's going to happen with Tekken 8. Are we going to get another story mode? We should, because Reina just gets left out in the rain and we don't really know what she's going to lead to. One thing I must say is that Reina is still a mystery to everyone. We know that this is Heihachi's daughter, and we know she has the devil gene. She revealed it at the end of the Tekken story, and this is going to be our new big baddie, and it's all set up for her to be that. It just looks like, they're not making Heihachi be the main threat anymore. Reina will take his place, and I think that this is a good setup for things to just change, things to be fresh. And I feel like with Jin, he's like our hero now. He was also, a bad guy for many different circumstances in Tekken 6, and he, had a change of heart. And I feel like Kazuya could do it the same way. Now, Kazuya could be one of those, he's a, badass and, he's edgy, but, he wants the same thing that Jin does. He wants to defeat Heihachi and the new threat, which is Reina. So it seems like they have a lot in common when it comes to a threat. So it just seems like the right way to go. Now, we know a lot about Heihachi's story and the reason why he feels the way he does about his son Kazuya. It's all about the devil gene. What happened with Kazumi and then everything happened afterwards makes him the person that he is today. Now, I gave you some reasons why I think that this all works out, but story-wise, will Kazuya and Jin actually get along? Well, they should if Mama June gets involved. So June is another piece of this puzzle that is very, very weird. I know that we were supposed to have like an extra story about her that came out, but she has to be involved in this some kind of way to just help them out, as we know that Jin can be Angel Jin right now. So I don't know if that power would like carry over to help defeat Reina, but also it's a lot just going on here with, June. Is she dead? Is she not? She seems like she's like a spirit that's just been in the tree the entire time, or she might just be alive that's been in that tree. That's what it hinted at, and that's what it seems like. So I'm thinking that with June's involvement, it would allow Kazuya and Jin to actually get along and defeat Reina. So I feel like that's probably what should happen, because there's no other way that those two guys will get along unless somebody kind of interferes, and I feel like June is the perfect person. Now, I gave you the upsides on why this story should work. Now let me give you a couple of downsides of why it might not. So I said before, if June is involved, then, Kazuya and Jin will get along. Will Reina and Heihachi get along? So it definitely seems like Reina loves her father, even though he probably wasn't involved in her life that much. But if she is an advanced version of the devil gene, she's going to be one of those devils that definitely wants everything her way or the highway. And, Heihachi, he's not going to buy that. So it's very likely that they might turn on each other, and that could also cause cause some messiness right there, because I mean they would have to like team up, to go against Jin and Kazuya. So they could definitely go against each other if they don't work together, try to destroy who they've been trying to get rid of for all this time. So we'll be really, really interested to just see how that pans out, because Reina, she's definitely going to be the queen here in this whole scenario. And I know I mentioned June, and I feel like with Angel Jin, they might can defeat them because she doesn't really know about that power yet. So it should be interesting to see nevertheless. So don't get me wrong, this is a crazy theory, it's not confirmed, but this could be a fresh new start for Tekken to just end on a note that actually kind of gets rid of, the Devil Gene once and for all, or just, gets rid of this rivalry that's been going on so long. So it could go a lot of different ways. I know that somebody that's never going to just get defeated ever is probably going to be definitely Jin and Heihachi. It doesn't look like those two characters are going anywhere. I always thought to myself, if they were going to definitely get rid of someone, they were going to do Kazuya. It kind of sucks because he's like my favorite out of the Mishimas, but we have to, stick with new people, and that's why Reina is here. I feel like she won't die. It just seems like she's going to have a long shelf life. I mean, a lot of people like her. She's a very popular character. Even when she was revealed, people just were drawn to her immediately. So I think that we're going to see her on the next Tekken. She just seems like she's going to be a bad guy that's going to like live on for a little while. So that's why it just makes sense if you get rid of Kazuya and replace him with Reina as the new threat. It seems like that's where Harada wants to go, and that's probably what he will do. So what do you guys think about this theory? Do you think that this is something that could possibly put Tekken 8 back on track? We definitely do need another story mode, and we definitely need to wrap up what's going on with this whole Devil Gene mess. And we need to figure out what Reina is going to do, because she just kind of got left out at the end. It was a cliffhanger with her turning into her own devil form. So what do you guys think will happen with all this? And you guys know what you have to do. Make sure you guys are following me on my Twitter, and make sure you guys check me out here every week on YouTube. Until next time, guys, peace.